Line drive to right.
Takes a three.
Touchdown 49ers. Hurry!
So Joe, we're here in Miami, Super Bowl. Take me back. It's 1981. Your first Super Bowl in 1982. What are your memories?
I think the forgot about a lot of this stuff prior to the game, but the first time we walked out onto the field, it was almost like the yays and the boos met at the 50-yard line when you came out. Every time somebody came out, it was that was probably the biggest experience. And then once the ball got kicked off, it's funny how you get your gears get going and you get right back in line and start trying to. I always look to get hit early. Please hit me early. So you get that one anticipation.
It's like in boxing, they say get that one hit.
Yeah, just wake me up and leave me alone after that.
But you were always, Joe Cool, you were always able just to focus and not let that exterior noise ever get to you.
It takes a lot of concentration, a lot of processing that goes on for running Bill's offense, Walsh's offense. So there were just too many things to think about to worry about the crowd or worry about the game, and it's just you were focused so hard on looking at trying to read defenses, trying to remember the reads. What do I change this to with this and what that? There's so many things that happen that if you start thinking about other things, I hope you're on somebody else's team.
But at the same time, you see John Candy in the stands. Only you could do that. See him go in the huddle, say, "Oh, John Candy's up there," and still do what you do. Only you, Joe.
Yeah, but I, you know what? I was just kind of being myself. The guy I was really talking to was Harris Barger, because he was a people person.
Right.
He used to go out. We would be free for dinner through the week, and then come back for meetings. And when you would come back, he was like a little kid in the candy store. What celebrities he saw. And so I had met John Candy a number of years prior too. So I recognized him pretty easy. He tried to get me to go to Toronto.
That's right. Tried to get you to go to Canada. I remember reading that.
And so he just happened to be framed between two guys, and I don't remember Harris saying he saw John Candy. So I thought he would appreciate it, because TV timeouts are forever. Right. So we've been standing there a long time. And he started mumbling some stuff, looking and talking something about the Super Bowl and trying to win, and you're looking in this. I thought you would appreciate that he was there.
When you think about the Super Bowl, you are the guy, 3-time MVP, Super Bowl champion, 4-time champion. You never threw a pick. That's a lot to be said. Never threw a pick in the Super Bowl.
I know. You know which one really bothers me?
Undefeated too in the Super Bowls.
The one that really bothers me, and I didn't know this for the interception, is, a friend of mine's in the collectible business, and he brought me a photo, and he goes, "Will you sign this for me?" I go, "Yeah." It's a big a pass down in the end zone in Miami, my last game. And he goes, "I want you to say my last game, my last throw, an interception." I go, "No way." And he goes, "Yeah, your last throw was a pick." I go, "No, it wasn't." I go, "I have to come back for one throw, even if I just throw it in the ground. I don't care." But no, you don't think about it. You don't. I'm sure there were a couple. I know one throw for sure that should have been taken off.
Oh, I know which one. Yeah,
he
dropped it.
Chest,
yeah.
And
the Bengals.
Yeah, and it just works out that way sometimes. If you run the offense the way you should in most cases, but there's so many things that can go wrong. Tip balls going through guys' hands that pretty fortunate not to have one.
Now, your relationship with Bill Walsh. Talk a little bit about that.
Bill, with his quarterbacks, always had to have. He had a great relationship, but he had to keep a distance, obviously, because he was the most demanding on the quarterback. He wanted everyone to try to be perfect, but he really wanted the quarterback not to make any mistakes. And it was great during the time. Yeah, there were ups and downs like everything else, but over the whole time frame, it was a great relationship. He had the driest sense of humor and funny all the way till the day he passed away. And the things that he said to me on the way out the door, because Ronnie Lott and I were the last ones to see him before it was only family, and his humor till the last day. As I was walking out, he stopped me, and I thought he needed something, and he said, "Do you owe me any money?" I said, "I don't think so, Coach, but You need some. I think I'll try to find some for you. I got a 20 in my pocket. But he was just a lot of fun to be around, and the more I look back on it, and I think he regrets leaving so early on such a rash. He had taken on a lot of responsibility, when he wanted to be the GM and on top of it, and he has enough pressure in that head coaching job to do that. And I think if he had gotten rid of that first instead of trying to make that decision, it would have been better for everybody.
So the first time you met him, was that when you were at Notre Dame still?
No, I actually was in Southern California. I had left Notre Dame. I got out in December. So I moved out and was working out there at USC with some of the guys over there. And they came to work out actually James Owens, who was drafted before me.
Yeah.
And they needed someone to throw, and I was there. I happened to be in the neighborhood. So.
And that's when Bill saw you.
Yeah, that's when Bill and Sam White.
Now, what's great is the relationship you have, not just with Bill Walsh, but Eddie DeBartolo. Not too many players will have that relationship. I mean, till now, you have this relationship with Eddie D, and how he takes care of all his former players.
There's no one like him. No matter what.
I agree.
Everybody can say things, but man is phenomenal. And he treats all the players and their families like his family. And he's done some things that, obviously nobody knows about, and taking care of some of the guys and their family when need. That
what he did for Dwight?
Above and beyond, yeah, Dwight. And other guys all the way back from the Super Bowl in '84, one guy. And he just doesn't look for any publicity. He doesn't care. He appreciates what everyone has done for him, for the organization at the time. And he's so grateful, and he never stops paying back.
I think it's pretty fair to say he's one of the best owners in the
NFL.
By
far, yeah. I mean, there are some great owners, but there's no one like him.
Right. Now, do you see any, going back to Bill Walsh, do you see any similarities with Bill and Coach Shanahan?
I haven't watched him a whole lot, but his offensive style seems to have a mix of that. Obviously some of it comes from his dad's side of it, and but obviously he's got it going. We didn't quite run the ball as much as they've been running it lately. But I'm not sure Bill, as much as he liked running the ball, and he had numbers in his head that we needed to get to. And if you're throwing the ball 30 times, you're usually losing back then. And if you're running the ball too many times, you're probably not winning either. And he had first downs. If you get 25 first downs, you probably win the game. And it worked out. When we got 25 first downs, we won like 90+% of the time. So he had a different way about him. It's hard to compare him to people.
Anyone, yeah. Now, have you spoken to Jimmy G at all this week, or is there any advice that you would give him?
I've never met him.
Oh, you haven't yet?
No, I never met him. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
What advice would you give him going into this? I mean, this is a big game for Jimmy.
Yeah, it's just
coming from the GOAT.
Yeah, no, you just don't listen to everything that people want to say or want to do. He just needs to do what he's been doing. He's been playing great. He's been doing exactly what they've asked him to do, and that's all he needs to do. And then when he's had to throw it, and they put the pressure on him that make him throw the ball in couple of the playoff games, he's played well. And so he has nothing to worry about going into that game. And the sooner he can get into that rhythm, and I'm sure they'll do a lot of things for, especially some of the guys need a couple throws to get just warm, get into the flow of the game. And that's what Bill used to do, give you a couple easy throws just to get the rhythm going and build confidence right away for him. And I'm sure they'll try to get some things done like that. But I think he's going to be fine. I don't know where he's going.
Because he's had a lot of scrutiny that Jimmy G can't win the big game. He's more of a game manager. I mean, what do you see when you watch Jimmy?
I see he's in the Super Bowl.
See?
Right? There's how many other quarterbacks that aren't here, and you can say a lot about it, but he has taken that team and done, like I said, exactly what he's asked for. And when you fit into a program, and I hate to say fit into a program or fit into a system. It's not that. It's when you understand how the system works and what it takes to make it work. That's when you're the most efficient, and that's what he's doing.
I know it's hard to choose, and when you look through all your Super Bowls, is there one Super Bowl that really stands out to you that you really felt that was like, that's the one, that's the game I remember? I know about a lot of
they were all
NFC Championship games,
yeah,
probably
they
more,
were,
huh?
No, they were all different.
Okay.
Though. I mean, they all stand out. I mean, there's the first one, usually the first one. The second one we played Marino in Stanford.
All right.
The next one we win with a touchdown pass, and the other one, the last one we blow out.
Right.
And unfortunately, you get taken out of the game. So, but they all have special memories.
Now, Patrick Mahomes, some people kind of relate to Dan Marino during that Super Bowl.
Yeah.
What do you think when you see Mahomes?
He's a different bird. He's one that you can't really get hands around. You keep him in the pocket, he's tough. You get him outside the pocket, he's hard to manage, and he's just a different guy than the NFL's seen, and fun guy to watch.
Now you look at these quarterbacks. I mean, Joe, you weren't protected as a quarterback. The game has changed so much. I mean, imagine the stats that you would have put up if you look at like how the game's changed. I mean, it's crazy. You took hard hits, Joe, and now these quarterbacks are protected so much they can be in the pocket all day long.
Yeah, it's changed a lot, and that used to be the differentiator for quarterbacks, whether you could stay there and take a hit and throw the ball accurately.
And you took some hits.
I took a few, yeah. But the game's always evolving. The game evolved from about however many years before me, it was different, and it'll always keep changing. So they keep trying to make it more and more fun for the viewers.
So how are you enjoying your time here in Miami?
We've been having a blast. Jennifer and we have our two boys with us, and we got the reins on them trying to get it.
I know you're busy.
They're having a blast.
Because people are calling this the Montana Bowl. Chiefs,
I know.
49ers. I mean, I know you're busy. You're doing a lot of appearances, a lot of...
Yeah, I come to all the Super Bowls. I kind of do some bunch of work around, and then usually go home before the game. But it's kind of fun because this game, it's Brett Favre, Drew Brees, and myself. We're doing a simulcast for streaming on the internet for Fox for the game. So we're not really calling the game. We're just kind of talking about the game as things happen. There'll be one other announcer in there with us, kind of help spur things along sometimes. But so we're staying for the game, and then we're heading home after that.
Okay. Hey, you said you win regardless, Chiefs or Niners. So you don't want to predict, right? You're happy either way, Joe, or what?
I'm happy both teams are here. It's sad that one of them has to lose, and I'll be happy for the one that wins. I have great feelings for both cities, and obviously still live in San Francisco, but it's hard to pull against the Chiefs, and it's hard to pull against the Niners. And I always say, and then way down inside, I grew up a Steeler fan. So.
Exactly.
But yeah, I think it's going to be a great game. Looking forward to it.
Perfect. Thanks, Joe.
You bet.